I still can't quite believe it. Ursula von der Leyen, the face of the European Commission, is actually stepping down. The whole of Brussels seems to be holding its breath, and honestly, so am I.
I know, it almost feels surreal. The rumors have been flying for weeks, but to see her actually preparing to resign, it's like the ground shifted beneath the EU. Nobody really knows what finally pushed her over the edge, do they?
That's the thing, every corridor in Brussels is buzzing, but there's no clear answer. Was it political infighting? The sheer exhaustion of holding together so many competing interests? Or maybe something else entirely?
And as Politico's been reporting, it isn't just tense, it's bordering on chaos. There's this sense of emergency that you can practically feel, even from the outside. It's wild to watch a power structure so solid suddenly look so fragile.
It's almost cinematic, right? The way her exit has exposed those old EU fault lines, foreign policy, energy, budgets. Suddenly, everyone's bickering louder than ever.
What's striking is how leaders across Europe are reacting with a mix of irritation and confusion. Le Figaro painted this image of heads of state just bewildered by it all.
And then there's that story about the walkout, Meloni and Orban storming out, von der Leyen reportedly breaking down in tears. Those leaked images say more than any official statement ever could.
It really shows how much these dramatic moments shape the narrative. Whether or not we get the full truth, that perception of a leader under siege starts to become the reality. And the rest of the EU seems to be feeling that shockwave too.
That whole budget fight was already a powder keg. The EU Sovereignty Fund, supposed to be this bold step forward, just ended up driving Italy and Hungary up the wall.
Exactly, for them. It wasn't just policy Rome was staring down 150, zero extra asylum applications, and Budapest faced this harsh ultimatum over migrants and energy. That's not compromise, that's an ultimatum.
No wonder Meloni and Orban saw it as Brussels steamrolling national sovereignty. Their walkout was less about theater and more a direct rejection of centralization.
And von der Leyen's tearful reaction, whether from frustration or pure exhaustion, seemed to crystallize that moment where her authority just evaporated. You could almost feel the federalist vision crumbling in real time.
The thing is, it wasn't only the politicians. While Brussels argued, farmers were out on highways from Germany to Poland, blocking traffic and protesting new EU rules.
It's incredible how these street-level protests connected to what was happening in the corridors of power. The Green Deal, Ukrainian grain, those new farming restrictions, it all became fuel for wider unrest.
You had tractors in Bavaria and blockades at Western ports. It's like the whole continent was pushing back, saying, enough with top-down mandates.
And with Rome and Budapest leading the charge, it became a kind of pan-European rebellion, not just about policy, but about identity and who really gets to call the shots.
Speaking of alliances, the divide between Berlin and Paris has never looked starker. That August 28th meeting in Paris, hardly the picture of unity.
Germany's economic slump is a huge factor. Chancellor Merz may want compromise, but when your own industrial base is struggling, it's tough to lead anyone.
Meanwhile, France is wrestling with its own crisis. A brutal austerity plan from Brussels, street protests in Marseille, and then Macron ups the military budget. It's a mixed message that's just adding to the confusion.
It's no wonder people on the ground are frustrated. When leaders seem to contradict them, sinks further.
All these immediate crises brought something else bubbling back up von der Leyen's old scandals. Her defense ministry years and the infamous Pfizer-gate are suddenly front-page news again.
Absolutely. Those consultant controversies and the vaccine deal text messages, people never really forgot. And an active investigation just keeps those wounds open.
It's almost poetic, in a way. The same lack of transparency that dogged her in Berlin ends up haunting her final days in Brussels.
And member states wasted no time capitalizing on it. Meloni ramps up the call for sovereignty, Sanchez pleads for unity, it's everyone for themselves, and trust in the EU keeps dropping.
Something that fascinates me is the swirl of rumors about what von der Leyen might do next. Confidential docs, secret meetings, are we talking transparency crisis, or a calculated escape?
Leaked reports suggest she inked major cybersecurity and AI contracts behind closed doors without member state input. That's fuel for every conspiracy theory in Brussels right now.
And then there's talk of her planning a global comeback private fund negotiations, discrete U.S. consortium meetings. Is she really stepping down, or just stepping up to a bigger stage?
That's what everyone's wondering. If she resurfaces at the head of a major international tech body, this whole crisis might end up looking like the launchpad for her next act.
Meanwhile, the euro's wobbling bond markets are shaky, and there's no clear plan for who takes over. The sense of instability is everywhere.
With activist groups saying she's already fielding offers for top jobs and sovereigntists gaining strength, this feels like a turning point for the EU's very structure.
It really raises the big question. Was von der Leyen's resignation inevitable? Or could the EU have taken another path, one that balanced reform with respect for national voices?
Whatever happens, Europe's entered a new uncertain chapter. Whether it leads to meaningful reform or a deeper split, we're watching history unfold in real time.